Found guilty of robbing a Queensland bank while on the run. Abbott claimed in court he'd been framed.
Renowned throughout the country for his bank robberies and jailbreaks, Brendan Abbott was found guilty of another hold-up today. An armoured car and a police guard swept Abbott away to his solitary prison life outside Brisbane after a district court jury revealed the verdict.
The main point of the case, I think, was what Mr Abbott has actually done to the staff of the bank and how they have been able to cope with the trauma of the armed robbery.
A single thumbprint on a bank teller screen linked Abbott to the hold-up, which happened 2 years ago, just after he broke out of Queensland's maximum security jail. A jury rejected Abbott's claims the evidence was planted and he was framed for the crime.
It was one of the links that we had to him being in the bank. It was a definite link because the fingerprint was left by Mr Abbott on that day at the time of the robbery.
Abbott was dubbed the postcard bandit because of a series of holiday snaps he took during 6 years on the run from a West Australian jail. He was caught in Queensland but broke out again 2 years ago with 4 others, sparking one of the nation's biggest manhunts. Since he was recaptured in Darwin, he's been held in solitary confinement. He is yet to be sentenced over the Gold Coast robbery. Sharon Marshall, 10 News.
He's been found guilty of an armed robbery while on the run 18 months ago. Yet to be sentenced, 36-year-old Abbott is already serving time for other offences, which will not see him eligible for parole until age 55.
Today for notorious WA gunman Brendan Abbott, the postcard bandit having 7 years added to his time behind bars for a Gold Coast bank robbery. If he serves all his outstanding prison time, Abbott will be inside until he's in his 70s.
Taking no chances, security surrounding his court appearance suggested Brendan Abbott retains his status as Queensland's most dangerous prisoner. The district court confirmed it. Abbott was this morning sentenced to 7 years for the armed robbery of a Palm Beach bank in late 1997. He was on the run after breaking out of Sir David Longland's prison. The 37-year-old robber will now be locked up in Queensland for up to 21 years. He'll then go to Western Australia, where a pending term will keep him in jail as late as the year 2033. That would make Abbott 64 years old before he comes up for parole and 71 years old if he serves his full term. Add to that a sentence yet to be handed down for escaping from custody in Western Australia. Judge Brian Bolton described Abbott's history of jailbreaks and armed robbery as a serious ongoing threat to the public. He called Abbott an experienced, very intelligent, highly dangerous criminal with a dim prospect of rehabilitation. John Bennett, 10 News.
Spend most of his jail time in strict confinement, will be at least 71 before he's done his time in Queensland and Western Australia.
A fortified army truck was used to transport Brendan Abbott after he was sentenced to an extra 7 years for armed robbery in Brisbane today, a crime committed after he escaped from a Queensland jail. Abbott was captured in Darwin last year after 6 months on the run. When Brendan Abbott completes his time in Queensland, WA police want to bring him back to Perth to finish off an 11-year sentence for armed robbery and to face questioning over other crimes. Abbott broke out of Fremantle jail 10 years ago and is the prime suspect for WA's biggest armed robbery at the Commonwealth Bank Mirrabooka, December 1997.
I don't think we've seen the last of Brendan Abbott. I don't quite know how they expect to keep him in strict security, solitary for the next 34 years. He's shown before that he's a patient man. To stop him escaping, Brendan Abbott will spend 22 hours a day locked in his cell, the other 2 exercising by himself. 37-year-old Abbott will be at least 71 before he finishes his jail time. Howard Gretton, 7 Nightly News.